So you're playing Withering Waves, you are playing just long enough to unlock the wishing system, and you get
I
your
have the key
free
to solving this
Baizhi.
question.
Now, I'm probably going to say Baizhi at some point in this video. I did listen to how she pronounces her name. It's Baizhi. I'm sorry if I mispronounce it through any of this video. And what do you get with Baizhi besides your designated given free healer? Well, Baizhi is a Glacio wielding Catalyst user, Rectifier user, not Catalyst, Rectifier. And in this video, we're going to look at how Baizhi works. Now, if you're new to Withering Waves, then Baizhi is going to be very, very important because she's going to be your healer that the game gives you, your sustainer. If you are mid to late game and you're wondering, should you invest in Baizhi? I think so. Withering Waves, in my opinion, does not have any bad characters in their kits, right? I think that even now with how some of the post game or the end game is going, that you still need multiple teams that can do different things, and Baizhi can slot into several different teams as a sustainer and a healer. So I do not think that this free 4-star that you're given is not going to be worth it if you build her. Now, something in Baizhi's kit is going to be Yutan. I think that I'm pronouncing that right. Yutan is this little white creature thing that she kind of has a bond with and can control. And all of her stuff is going to be done through this creature. Now, of course, we're going to start with talking about how to fill up her forte gauge, which is the little bars above her HP. That is going to come through her basic attack. Every basic attack is going to give her one of these bars. Whenever it is full, it is going to kind of empower or allow for our heavy attacks and our skill to heal and do more. And it is every single basic attack. It's not like there are some people that have the forte gauge where like basic attack 4 is the one that gives it. It is every single basic attack. Whenever we have this bar full, if we do a heavy attack, she is going to control Yutan and she is going to send him out. You can kind of move him around. He's just going to kind of spin. This is going to use up all of the bars of the forte gauge that you have built up, and it is going to heal your entire team, and it is going to heal all resonators. Now, for each one of these bars will be an instance of healing, which is why we want to get all 4 of the bars filled up before we use the heavy attack or the skill. The skill is going to also heal. It's also going to do an instance of Glacio damage kind of around her, but it is going to heal as well, and it's going to do the same thing where we want to have the 4 bars above the forte gauge before we do the healing, because then we get more healing. It's also not difficult to get up the forte gauge with doing the basic attacks. It is actually relatively easy and fast. Now, I believe that there is something else in it. If we look right here at her forte circuit, it is going to say that there's a concentration healing, which is going to be per bar, but then it's also going to say if we use the heavy attack, we're going to get a certain amount of concerto region, which is going to be the circle for her outro skill, and heavy attack is also going to give resonance region, which is going to be for her burst. I believe that for every single one of the concentration bars, we will get this much, 4 and 2.5 on the heavy attacks, and then on the skill, it's just going to go to concerto region, and that is going to be 8. So we're going to get more for the concerto from the skill, but we're going to get more for the burst from the heavy attack. So you can kind of mix them together because it doesn't take long to get all 4 again. So that way you're like, oh, I want to do my outro skill. My skill can build that faster. Oh, I'm lacking in my burst. Okay, then let me do the heavy attack instead. Now, speaking of burst, whenever she uses her burst, she is going to summon Yutan. Yutan is going to heal, as well as follow around your on-field character, even if you swap off and do coordinated attacks. So we do have a little bit of coordinated attack through Baizhi's kit. All of this healing is based on Baizhi's max HP, so we are going to be building her with that in mind. Now, something else in Baizhi's kit is that from one of her passives, whenever we use her skill, she is going to drop something that is going to look like this. The character that picks it up is going to have their attack increased. Only one character can pick it up, so you need to kind of make sure that the character that picks it up is the one that you want to get that attack increase. The coordinated attacks from the burst are also going to be healing all of your team as long as they're kind of within the range of the coordinated attack. So you do kind of need to stay a little bit closer. Baizhi also does healing on her intro skill and her outro skill. So she has a ton of healing. On her outro skill, she's going to heal the incoming resonator by a percentage of her max HP every 3 seconds for 30 seconds. This is going to get a prolonged amount of sustain. Now, the downside is that the healed resonator has their damage amplified by 15%, which is great. 4-6 seconds is not great. That is such a short amount of time to get this damage amplification. So it's really gonna have to be somebody that is either completely front loaded, or you're gonna kind of have to disregard this part of it, because 6 seconds is not a long time. Now I do have S6. So real quick, we're gonna run through all of her chains, because they do get much better with these chains. So the first one, Resonance Skill Emergency Plan, additionally restores resonance energy for every 1 concentration consumed. So now with our C1 or S1, we are going to also be getting resonance energy from using her skill, which we were not getting that extra bit beforehand. We were only getting the extra bit from the heavy attacks. Now we're also going to get it from the skill. Number 2, her skill is going to increase her Glacio damage bonus as well as her healing by 15%. if she has 4 of the concentration. So we need to, again, make sure that we're building up to the 4 concentration. Number 3 is that her intro skill is going to increase her max HP by 12%, increasing her damage and her healing. Number 4, upon casting her burst, it is going to gain a bunch of enhancements, meaning that she's going to deal more damage. She's also going to heal more, things like that. So it's just going to kind of give a buff to her ulti altogether. Number 5 is going to be kind of like a Barber from Genshin C6, where if a team member is knocked out and she is alive, then that team member is going to be brought back to 100% health of their max HP. This can be triggered once every 10 minutes, right? That's going to be what this one does. Number 6, when that little item, that Euphonia that increases the attack, is picked up, is going to also increase the Glacio damage bonus of all characters by 12%. So if we want, in this instance, Carlotta to pick it up to increase her attack, it's also going to increase her Glacio damage bonus and the Glacio damage bonus of Zhuzh in this team. Now, her last passive that I actually don't have unlocked yet is going to do that whenever her heavy attacks hit an opponent, is going to increase your lowest HP team member, specifically lowest HP. So as you can see, inherently built into her kit, she is going to give a ton of healing. She is going to give some damage amplification, specifically to Glacio, especially with the resonance chains. But this is going to still be a really good team member to have, especially until you kind of get Verena, if you didn't pick Verena as your free one, or until you get like Shorekeeper, or until you get all of these different characters that are also really good sustainers, also really good healers. If you don't have them, you haven't got them yet, or you didn't pick Verena for your free 5-star, then Baizhi can be a very good sustainer, very good healer, and give a little bit of damage amplification. Now for echoes, of course, we are going to be running Rejuvenating Glow. Now, I have been using Fallacy of No Return. In my opinion, I like Fallacy better than something like Bellborn. Bellborn is the other option, where Bellborn is going to give a 10% damage amplification and a shield that is going to reduce your damage taking by 50%, but you can only get hit so many times before the shield is gone. It does last way longer though. Fallacy is going to give a 10%, is going to give an energy regen buff and 10% damage bonus and 10% attack buff for 20 seconds to your entire team. And it doesn't matter how many times you get hit. So Fallacy can be good for the energy regen and the attack buff. I guess if you're using a character that doesn't scale on attack, then this would be less valuable. Now, the Rejuvenating Glow is also going to give an attack buff to your entire team whenever you heal them. So this is another way that we can provide a damage amplification over to our entire team with Baizhi. Now for the main stats on these echoes, I would say that you're going to be mainly doing HP, right, for the main ones, and then the 1 cost. But then on the 3 cost, you're probably going to want to put in an energy regen. If you're noticing that like you don't have enough energy, then maybe swap one of your HPs over to an energy regen and then have the other one be HP, and kind of find the good balance between having enough energy and enough HP for her to heal, but also have her burst up. Now for rectifiers, you do have a couple of different options. You do have something like Variation, which is going to give energy regen, which is going to be good. And then whenever you cast your skill, it's going to give you Concerto energy, right? So that way we'll be able to kind of swap out and do our outro skill more often. And then of course you do have Comet Flare, which is going to give HP. At this point, I would definitely have an energy regen main set on one of the 3 costs. This is going to also give a healing bonus whenever you deal basic attack damage or heavy attack damage, which you do a ton through her kit. So you can increase your healing bonus with this rectifier. Again, I would run an energy regen echo on that to kind of offset and get that energy that you're going to need. Now that's going to be it for this video. Shorekeeper has blue-white hair. I have white hair, and then we'll see you in the next one.